Hi, I'm Beverly Claridge. Welcome to my studio. Today we're on day 4 of creating Red Playground Finish What You Started. I've studied the results from the last session and I've decided I need some more pointers on the right work. I've got plenty here on the left. I actually added these ones in on the left bottom, and these were already in the original design. However, I just sense there needs to be more markers on this right side. And I will take my clues from the previous graphite marks that were laid down. I wanted to challenge myself to use graphic devices to insert more of a sense of direction using only my pigment pen markers, my square and my straight edge. I think I'm up for the challenge. So let's get started. I'm wanting these lines I'm laying down now to be a little bit stronger, so I'm using a 0.7. There's a pointer there, but it's going to be leading us out of the picture. No, I don't think I want that. And there's also one here from the fold. I'm just going to freehand draw. And there seems to be a pointer there. I feel like there needs to be something coming out of here, but I don't want to outline where it folded, because I'll sort of mimic it. I kind of want the folds to be celebrated in their own right. The circle leads the eye around each individual composition. When I draw that around there, I like to celebrate mistakes I make. What I normally would do with something like these little graphic things here, fill them in with alternating bands of ink tints. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just do that with my pen. I like that. Now what I might do, because I want those to look like bands, this is what I call the big guns. Right now I'm in a period of using what is in my hand. What do you have that you can use without going and getting something else? That's really cool. I like that. I actually like it so well, I'll probably, and it's such a strong design element, I might go do it on the other one as well. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it isn't going to be because I just messed up there at a circle there. For some reason, that white looks really blank. So what I'm going to do is make some little arrows there. I thought I liked that, but I'm not sure if I do. I think I need to add something else to act like a guide to go around the picture. That was just a little bit too stark for me. This one here has the red in it, so it doesn't look so stark. That was the original layer that I did when I started this. Trying to leave the insides as pure as possible. Maybe that isn't possible on this. I don't think it is. I've always put quite a bit of pressure on myself to get things looking just so. And there is a time and a place for that, but I think it actually has stifled my creativity, and if nothing else, it has at times driven me too much. So for this season in my arts practice, I'm definitely not imposing perfection. And that doesn't mean everything passes muster. I like to circle some of the obvious gaps and imperfections. As in life, I think the little quirks and imperfections actually give character to us as people, and likewise to our artwork. Hang on, I gotta show this to you. This is Bella, my studio dog. She keeps me good company. She just lost her best friend, Polly. We just lost her on Valentine's Day this year. And she is readjusting to life after Polly. Go lie down. Lie down. Go lie down. Go on. Get over there and lie down. You're not the boss, I am. We're going to go ahead and just sort of color some of these in. I could have used ink tints to do these, but I'm not. It's more convenient, more instantaneous, and I like it actually. It adds a little bit of boldness without overdoing it. Now I am working on the circles. I want to cover up most of the graphite with my pigment ink pen, but in these circles here that are going along the middle, I'm actually not going to cover up the very straight line that goes through them. And the reason I'm doing that is in memory of my mother. I lost my mother about the same time that I closed my business. Whenever I was a child, I remember her wearing her pearl necklaces. And it's nice to think about her. I'm pretty much leaving the concentric circles as they are. I'm not adding anything other than outlining them because I think they're bold enough without me doing anything else to them. Now we're going to the bottom right. Here I've just followed the earlier graphite laid down by the compass. And I've got more graphite lines here from my earlier effort. I find that if I turn this to the side, just by the mechanics of my hand, it's a little bit easier to follow the curve. And in the same way, I'm going to turn it over again. I'll follow that on through. Whenever I make a false start or make a mistake, I like to actually add kind of like filaments, like something's broken off and flying in the wind. It also is a way to add vibrance and a bit of life and direction to the piece. There's a little bit of a filament there. Right there's that filament. I'm trying to decide how I want to outline these. Like at least up here, these are strong enough. So we're going to start with the 0.7 and see if I need to go over them again. In this bottom right section, after outlining all the concentric stripes, they almost overpower any design element I'm going to put in with my pigment pen. I'm going to use my chisel and just ever so slightly emphasize these pointers here, using the very tippy tip of them. Almost feel like it needs another one over here that transects this. These are going to get the same treatment, these ones coming up from the bottom. Using my chisel point may change the design of this just a little bit. I'm cross-hatching these just to add a little bit of design there. I'm filling in the yellow areas because I actually think it kind of counteracts the vividness of the blue lines. I feel like those blue concentric rectangles are so strong. I was thinking about putting circles here in these and filling them in. Actually, that would be a good idea, I think, because that alludes to circularity. That has some circles because if you consider this as a whole, even though they're going to be framed separately, it is pretty much a dip dish. It has circular elements and pointers, circular elements and pointers. This is the only one that has 0 circular elements. So I think I will do that. I thought that was a possibility that if I started using the chisel point that I would have to use it on some other things. But I think it needs to be done. It almost looks like it's like a conflict, but that's okay. I want a little bit of conflict. I don't mind conflict. Well, I don't like it on a personal level, but I don't mind a little conflict in my artwork. Begging me to pull that on down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and use my thin end of my chisel end and mark in the square. This started out being something just nice and gentle, but on the right side it's become quite strong and graphic. This has actually taken a completely different turn than I expected. Just the one decision to use this. I think that's it for today. I've had a great time today and I hope you have too. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.